Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Australian report for Thursday, November 4. I'll cover the ASX and the banks. The BHP and RIO, we'll have a quick look at them, but there's not a lot that I can sort of say. There's no sort of long trades on those at the moment. So with the ASX here, it's kind of lagging other markets around the world in that the move up through here hasn't taken out the top here yet, or sort of even come sort of close to it yet. So yeah, hopefully it can catch up, but the way that it would catch up would be with the banks. But unfortunately the banks like Westpac have been hit pretty hard. I don't know the full story of all of that, but CBA has held up quite nicely and is trying to push higher. So I think that the CBA will be the lead in any move to the upside for the ASX. But you can see the length of wave 1 here. And then the length of wave 3 is nice and long. So we would normally just expect, if the extension's in wave 3, then we could look at the length of wave 1 roughly, as I think I'll just put that on a bit more of an angle like that there, and it's just very rough, but you know, that's really what we should be looking at. But the problem is here is that we've got 8,000, and I call 8 a profit-taking number, so it's not likely to go that high. But still, you never know. We'll see how that sort of travels out. But we're just really looking for 5 waves up to the 8,000 area, and probably a bit higher than that. So on this wave 4 here, yeah, so I'm sort of okay with that. I know this might sound a little bit weird, but this low here, the other market that catches this one here is our trading partner, the FTSE here. That's also on the same date, the September the 20th at that point, and looking at wave 1 and 2. In this case, the market has, you know, this market for the FTSE is sort of done really quite well. It's pushed higher and it's given a reasonable sort of count for all of this. But this market here hasn't really pushed up. Like the FTSE's taken the top out here, for example. And so this one's all sort of squashed up a little bit and hasn't really sort of moved. And what we've been waiting for so long is a bit of a classic trading levels pattern at this level here. And let's go in and have a look at that on the 4-hour chart. So, yeah, I mean, it's sort of doing all the right things for being bullish at the moment. And one of the main points here is that, first of all, I've got this as a wave 2 here. We've had this as a wave 4, and we'll look at that on the hourly chart. This is just a new count that I'm looking at. So before we still had wave 1 here, but I've got wave 2 sitting over on this low here, which is also in line with the FTSE as well. But the count that I had before with wave 1 here and 2 here and 3 here and 4 here, but there's a bit of an overlap between 1 and 4, so I don't like that. And wave 2 here's pulled back, well, 50-60% roughly in all of that there, just shooting the breeze on that a little bit. So you can see that it's in that sort of 50% retracement level area there. So it's better suited as a wave 2, but it really puts us behind the FTSE a lot, you know, because, you know, the FTSE's sort of up here further. But I may need to readjust this count here as well, but it's traveling well. So yeah, it's been a bit of a stick in the sort of mud, this one. But the positive things here are that this move here is in 3 waves, so that makes it corrective. So we should take out that top. I've been waiting for support on the 7,400 here, and it's really making an effort. It's came up. I mean, this is a classic trading levels pattern if we consider this the first high above the level and then the ABC correction. And then this is another classic trading levels pattern here, the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level. Not a very good correction to pull back on, but we should be able to take that top out. And the reason for going long above that top if you're not already long in here, is that this top here is from that high to that low, we're above the 61.8%. That's more closer to the 80%, more, well, 78.6, I'd imagine. So yeah, pretty close to the 78.6 square root of 61.8%. So that's all good at that point. But the spanner in the works is that Thursday, as you know, can be the bear day. So even if we looked at, I mean, this move up here could be an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave up here, or it could be up for one and back for two, and up for one and back for two here, and then but we need that high taken out. Once that high is taken out, then it takes us past those 5 waves there, because if I just show you on a 10-tick chart those little moves just in that space there. I had to answer that call, Marcy's not in yet. But this little move up through here is 1 and 2, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for 3, 4, 5. So we've got this this ABC correction here, and we've got, this is 10 ticks, or 100 ticks. Okay. Let me just, what did I do then? Thought I already had that. I already had that on that chart. Let me just go to this chart. Sorry, I lost the plot. I had to take that call, otherwise it would have been sort of onto me there. But so yeah, okay. I'll start with this side. Sorry about that. So last time we spoke, we had this as wave 3 here with an ABC for wave 4, but I think that we may need this as wave 2. And what I want to say about this is that here, even if this was an A wave and a B wave and a C wave to that point there, then to confirm the uptrend, we would need to move above this top there, because that's the 5 waves. Okay, so Thursday can tend to be the bear day, and we just need to be mindful that there's a couple of things that can go on just in here. So we can either come back to the 50-60% mark and then push up, or we could also come back a little bit deeper in here for Thursday and then push up here as well, in that space. So bringing wave 2 over here because of the 50-60% retracement level area coming in here. We haven't really pulled back into that. So if Thursday does create a bit of a bearish day, even if it opens, it would be nice if it actually opened higher and then traded lower for the day, and then taking that top out there. But just bringing across my tick chart here, I thought it was 10 ticks, but it's 100, but it's okay. So from this low here, well, first of all, you can see that nice strong 3rd wave in here. So this will be 1 and 2 in here, and 3 and 4 here, and it may be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We may or may not take that top out there. And I don't know if that was there last time we spoke or not. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. But so Thursday might be typical where it opens higher. Hopefully it will take that top out there. And then that's important because it takes us past that being a C wave up there of any type of correction, you know. So if Thursday is going to be the bear day, we can either pull back to the 50-60% retracement level here, and I'll just take that to the top there because it should open up higher. The cash market will bring it up, and then that brings us back to this 50-60% retracement level here. And then the market can move up from there. So if you see it come back into 74.10 and then start to build up, and it should have 3 waves here, so going long on the 2nd wave is good. Otherwise, if that's not the case, it could pull back down here as an A wave here, an A, B, C for the B wave, and then down for the C wave. It won't come that far down, actually. It will just come back down to these levels here because of that, not just because of that support, more so because it's if from the top here to the bottom here, if it came back up 61.8%, then it would drop lower. But because it's gone so high up here, it will tend just to stay as a flat. So flat here and flat here in that case, and then push up from that point. So we may not see the bullish thing today on the Thursday, but we'll probably see it on the Friday. So just be a bit careful about that. The other point that I need to make as well is that 7400, and then we've got 10, 20 and 30, which is group 1, right? So if we get support on group 1 over, I'll just draw it over here so it's a bit cleaner. We'll come up here, come back, and then make a first high above the level, and then we'll have that situation happening as well, which will be the ABC pullback in here. So looking for support on this level here. So if it corrects here, this little pattern in here will be a smaller version of that in here. Right, so look for that in there, and then that will take us up to 50 at that point. And then we've got once that top's taken out, then we've got a confirmed bullish run to the upside for this. Yeah, so just going back a bit here to my 4-hour chart here for a moment. So we're looking at this as wave 1 and 2 in here, but this needs to be confirmed at this point, you know, and then we're looking at this as wave 1 here, and then we'll look that's wave 2 in there now. It still needs to be confirmed because we need to take that top out there, you know. Probably want to see that a bit longer, but anyway, we'll get to that when we get to that. So just to recap a little bit, it's looking really quite good because it was, you know, support here, then it became the resistance, and then it's come back over here and it's had the first high above the level, and now it's having, so it's basically it's getting to the point now, if you will. I don't know if that's the right way to put it, but it's getting to, if I put a line through here, the balance point through, it's getting to that balance point. It doesn't need a lot to push it off. So let's just have a look at CBA for a moment. So we've seen the market, which is fantastic because the other, you know, Westpac's heading lower. So yesterday I mentioned that if this low here is breached, then it's bearish at that point, but it wasn't breached and it was moved higher, and it's moved higher on higher volume as well, so that's fantastic. I mean, all of this volume here tells me it's bullish, but I just need to confirm it. So once again as well, just now that it's taken that top out there, that also helps it be bullish there as well, because I had 3 waves here, so I needed 5 waves up there to take that out. So if it was going to be a B wave, because we talked about having a possible B wave here, well then that's removed here now, so I don't need that there. So that's looking, and I think it's just nipped that top out there. So we'll have a look at the tick chart for this. Yes, I mean, that was just a little spiky thing there, which, you know, I mean, it's there, it's happened, but we've taken that, you know, we've just nipped that top out there, or, you know, made that stronger. We've only got 3 waves up here, so an A and a B and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, but yeah, if we push up here again, this will be some sort of little 5-wave structure in here as well. So that's looking quite good. So wave 2 here, then wave 1, and then our wave 2 is held in place, and then wave 1 and 2, and probably 1 and 2 here, and sort of heading up higher. So let's hope that that just makes it nice and clear top on that there for that. And yeah, so that's looking very positive at that point. Let's go back to the daily chart for a moment. So all of this has given me a bit of a hard time in here, but I feel like we've sort of worked through it quite well. I mean, especially under the pressure of Woodside falling out of bed and so on. But anyway, the journey continues, and the other point here, it's only subtle, but taking that high out here, because this is the first time, like, it tried to get support there, didn't get support here, like trading above it's not support. When it comes back and tests it, the retest is support. Didn't get it here, didn't get it here. We knew that would make a new high here because of that 3-wave move here. It made a new high here and got sold off really strong, and came back into the 50-60% retracement level. But what it's really doing is checking the 105 and that's also the 61.8% retracement level from the top to the bottom here. So it's come back and checked that, and the fact that it's taken that top out there, that really gives us the long trade at that point. Now, trading long on a Thursday is a little bit of a trap, so be careful about that. Don't overtrade. Look to build in on the Friday morning and Friday afternoon and Monday morning and so on and so on. But also too, we should scoot along here now, because let's just imagine for a moment that I've actually got something right for once, and a wave 1 here and ABC for 2 here, then 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. So we're in the third of the third of the third here. So we really should just sort of power on up through here, you know. So that would be the point of going for this. There will be a little classic trading levels pattern at this high at 110. 110 is the first minor level above the major level here. So all these levels between 110 and 100 are all sub levels: 1, 2, 3, 5 and 8, and then 10 is the minor level. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not 4 but 5, 8, and so all of this is all of minor group 1 here for this. So looking very good for CBA, and ANZ has held its position as well. So yeah, I mean, the same thing here. We were looking for any move below that low there, and then would be down into a larger correction here. And it's still possible to look at this as down for 1 and ABC back for 2 and coming down again here. So we're not out of the woods yet here. So if you wanted a long trade here, it's going to have to be above that high there for that. We could probably get a better position in here, but I'd rather do that tomorrow on the Friday rather than the Thursday, just in case we open higher and close lower. That's the bullish weekly cycle. So with I'm just going to go over to the commodities, but what I want to do is just go straight to iron ore. This is the daily chart for iron ore. All my labeling is left, and I've lost my oil chart as well. That's why I didn't do a video yesterday for all of that, so apologies about that. I've got to put it all back together again. But I can see here, as we mentioned yesterday, we've got to look at 5 waves coming down here, 1, 2, 3. So it's still got further to come down, and off the 500 here there will be support for iron ore, but it's not finished here. So then it really places pressure on all of these as well. We haven't made a new low here for New York BHP, but we could do with all of this, so we've just got to wait that out. And also for the Australian BHP and the other guys here, where are we? Yeah, we've made a new low here on the tick chart for this BHP. So we're either in a correction here, or we need, as I mentioned before, we need to look at this here as we need to look at this as 1 and 2 and 3 down here, and a 4 and a 5. So yeah, I'm not quite sure about that particular count, but we're going to come down a bit further here for this. And this brings us into FMG, which is still on the weekly chart here. That could drop a bit in here. I won't be interested in trading this. If it finds support on 15, then we'll be all over it and we'll look to trade long at that point. And that's the same with Rio as well here. It's slowing down. What I can say here is that just on the volume here, you see on the last few days it's moving down, but also the volume's decreasing as well. So the sellers are drying up. So we're close to a low there, but I don't have any evidence of it being in place just yet. And also Newcrest mining as well. So we're starting to take a bit of an interest in the gold market at the moment. So that's all good. And this here would be, we can either have an A and a B and a C wave down to here, or all of this is going to be coming down further for the A wave, the B wave, and then the C wave coming down and then we'll move off from that point. So we've still got a fair bit to go with all of this. I think this being the A wave and the B wave and the C wave is about right. That would be in line with GDX, but we also need to have a look at bring spot gold. Spot gold's doing the same thing as well. So they're all doing the same thing. So it doesn't matter if you've got silver stocks or gold stocks, that will be the case. So we're still in the A wave here. So the A wave here, which we should just start to get together, because I said that I would. Just going to make it smaller so we can and then we're going to start looking at this on the tick chart in due course, not today, but very shortly we'll look at this. It looks like it's 5 waves here with 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 coming into here, and then we'll have a look at the B wave in 3. So we'll move into the tick chart because we want to nail that low, and then we also want to prepare ourselves for this move to the upside here. So we'll need to look at the first little impulse wave off the low there. So we'll start to bring all that in together at some point, but yeah, this still needs to come down further for that A wave to come into play there. The 24 here is the closest largest number, so that's playing out in its own little way there. Anyway, I don't need to get into that too much, but okay, got it. So there'll be a little stab below that, I think, to finish off wave 5, and then an ABC here, and then we'll start looking at the tick chart here. If it runs away on us and moves up and finds support on the 25, well, we'll be going long from that point for sure, but otherwise, yeah, we'll look at the tick chart for this. Alrighty, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.